Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another C3 podcast. And we're talking about, I got, of course, Mr. Akili and Mrs. Aziza. And Yura on board here so we can talk about this is our second episode. So,
Yay, episode two.
yeah. And we have a whole lot to talk about again today as we reach out to every comic book enthusiast. So that way we can showcase and share
Hmm.
the movement that we've put together here. And my name is Ed Peterson, of course. And I'm just one of the, what you call, marketing fan base kind of guru to help you guys kind of solidify what we're doing here with C3 Podcast and as well as with Android Comics and how they really put this beautifully together. And then getting ready for Comicpalooza and all the different things that's coming up this year. A lot of promotions and events that we're going to be sharing and showcasing for you all, so you guys can participate. It's going to be in the Houston-based area, Houston, Texas, and we want to continue to just expand and grow across the country as well as around the world what we're doing in the ACU universe. So let's get started and reference to what we're doing. And we basically want to have something that's going to really enlighten you guys because I'm super excited as a citizen of Capital City myself and also with what Akili has put together with the maps, and you guys can take a territory, get a territory, and showcase that. So I want to let them talk about this because I can talk about this all day, and I can be on this thing for a minute, a New York minute, with them because I love them. They're telling you they're a beautiful couple, and they have really stretched themselves really well with putting this together. As far as the characters, the comic book characters that they put together here, as well as the writing. And we talk about literacy, and we have that part too as well that we're going to be showcasing. So let's get started, guys. Well, welcome again to our second episode here. So, what do y'all think
Hmm.
about now? We in episode two of C3 podcast. So, go ahead, Aziza, Akili, y'all can get started. Take it away.
You got the
Okay,
floor, ma'am.
awesome. Well, I will take the floor. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Hmm.
Ed, for that awesome introduction. I'm Aziza. My husband's Akili, and together we're the writers, artists, visionaries, creators, everything for Adroit Comics. So we're excited to be able to share. We're excited to launch episode number two of the C3
Hmm.
podcast. So the C's represent comics, culture, and
Hmm.
creativity. And that's what's really important to us here. We want to be able to explore how comics have shaped society, how comics have influenced our lives and the lives
Hmm.
of people across the world, and how we can use creativity to really change the world. So that's our mission here. So episode one, what the title was, the new age in comics. We really wanted to give you an introduction to our world and what it is we're working to build here, what we've been working so hard to build over the past 10 years. So we're really excited about this launch in
Hmm.
2026 to really show everybody what we've got. All right, so let's start out with our first segment. Well, I want to share that, well, I already said that. This episode is about how comics have shaped our lives and society as a whole. So let's begin with our first segment, The Realm of Nusar-Il Reveals. All right, so The Realm of Nusar-Il is where our story begins. Let me share a map. I'm ready to
Hey,
share. I'm
coming right
all
now.
Let's see, share slides and PDFs or share screen. That's what it is, right?
Oh,
Share a
I'm
slide
sorry.
of PDF. Load it
Share
down.
slide or PDF. All right, let's see if
Yeah.
it'll let me upload it how I want to.
Yeah, that'll be great. I think I
Slides and
did.
PDFs from our computer. Upload file. Sorry, y'all have to hear me as I'm clicking through. I talk as I
That's all
as
right.
I do things. All right, so let's see. So what I wanted to share first, what I'm trying to share is actually a picture of our map. I know Ed really loves our maps, and Akili has worked so hard to
Hmm.
create these super exciting maps. Oh, I forgot it's on the desktop. All right, here we go. Oh, well, let me just do the pictures.
Oh, wait a
Human
minute. Hold on.
Revolution.
Hold on. Let me get to that section so we can go
Okay,
ahead.
I have the book.
Let me go
Our
this way.
apologies, everyone.
This is
'Cause I have JPEGs.
You could even ask, well, now I'm about to say you can upload the book, the CC Welcome to Capital City. It's on there.
Yep, I uploaded that one. So if I do have to share the screen, then I'll just share the screen.
Yeah, just share the screen.
Hmm.
Okay. I lost. See, I'm not the tech person. I should have let you do this part too. Okay.
That's all
Maybe
right.
I have StreamYard open in another. Oh, there it is. All right, that was my issue. Okay, so let's start this over. In theory, I'm going to share screen.
Okay.
Okay, allow. Okay, it won't let me. So we'll keep going. So what we're doing, you can see the map here on this image. That's actually New Siena. And New Siena is the country where everything is really, really kicking off. And we're inviting you to become a citizen of New Siena as you join our world, join our universe, and really become a part of this world building experience. All right. So I'll pull my notes back up. Okay, so today we really wanted to talk about Crimson Hawk. So what I'll have to do is upload our Crimson Hawk book. So Keely, would you start off for me while I open up the next screen? Oh, Crimson Hawk's at the end of this book. Okay, that's nice.
Yes, and there should be. This is an opening to everything New Sienna as well.
Mhm.
I think we'll add some new maps to the end of this.
Okay, we'll do that. That'll be great. We'll add maps to this booklet. So let's start the introduction that I wanted to share about Crimson Hawk. He is a man of mystery, even to himself. He's a soldier without a past who was found in the jungles of Kyoshi, which is also on our map. And Kyoshi is like our what's the word I'm looking for? Vietnam meets Hawaii. So it's really got a real Southeast Asian, Pacific Islander type of feel. Um, I had so many slides ready, so now that I can't show them, I'm just gonna
You
wing
can't
it.
show those slides. I showed them last time, so we have to figure out how you can show your pictures because it's possible.
Okay, well
It's,
we'll work that
it's share
out.
the screen. It's just we'll figure it
Share
out.
screen,
Uh-huh.
and it's telling me browser cannot access your screen. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues. So what I'll do is I'll email these to Ed as we're continuing on, and maybe he'll be able to better share from his end.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, Dave, if you will you share just a little bit about Crimson Hawk and your inspiration or our inspiration in creating him as a character?
Well, with Crimson Hawk, I wanted to give people like give you an empty slate in a sense. So when he comes in to existence, he doesn't know who he is. So he has to, in a sense, reinvent himself with the help of these good people and knowing that he has his past that he really wants to find. How does he continue on with life at this point where he's like, I'm all right, I'm at zero, so I need to still be able to live and I still need to love and to still have relationships, even though I have a whole world that I don't know what it is. And so it's really, I want you to really like when I did it, he's like almost like a kid. So every experience he has is almost like a new experience. So at times you'll see a playfulness about him and a childish glee with him because he's first of all thankful that he's alive, and second of all these experiences are new to him in a sense. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring out with Crimson Hawk. Wanted to, and it's kind of like a regular guy but knows he has to do something that's gonna help to save the world.
Awesome. That's awesome. And I like that you shared, that he has a youthfulness to him because he's like a kid in such a way. So when you deal with the dynamics of what's the word of amnesia, it's like, well, how much does he know? Did he forget everything? So it's like all of this stuff will still be in his psyche when it comes to his training as a soldier, or when it comes to all of these different elements. But he has to build a whole new identity, and that identity So much of it is being shaped by Pops and Lika. All right, let me see if this will let me share now. I think it's still uploading. Hold
Where's
on.
the second book?
Okay, let me see. It told me I could only have two files, so now I'm seeing if it'll upload it now. Okay, uploading. Awesome. So he's discovered and found in the jungle, no memory, body bruised and battered, in the jungles of Kyoshi by two characters who we call Pops and Lika. And I have their picture in here when this finishes uploading. So Pops and Lika are very, very instrumental when it comes to Crimson Hawk's story and when it comes to our universe as a whole. I'll show you. Okay, so this is Lika. So in our world, Lika is really like our Tony Stark. She is one of the most brilliant minds in the universe, and she and her husband are also adroits. If you're not familiar yet, adroits is what we call all of our people with superpowers, who were specially chosen from the beginning of time as we know it by divinity to be protectors of humanity and protectors of the realm. All right, so this is still loading, so we'll give it a bit more time. Keely, would you like to share anything about Pops and Lika and just really the role that they play in Crimson Hawk's world?
In a sense, they're like this his surrogate parents. They have tragedy in their life that when they met Crimson Hawk, it was like right at the right time, and they mothered him back to health. Pops is a really strong, powerful man who he has trust issues now because of what's happened in Kyoshi, but he trusts his wife enough to believe that Crimson Hawk or Max, his name is Max. He goes by Max Ward Norton, but his real name in the beginning of Crimson Hawk you'll see is Max Gideon. They formed a like a really tight family net in seemingly in a short time, but you'll see that more than being a team, they're family. So when new teammates come in, it's not just hey, I don't like you and we got to work together. It's no, how do we become a family? Oh, and an ancient map of Kyoshi that she just put up. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
give you the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. So we got the maps open. So this is actually an ancient map of the land of Kyoshi. Ed, you haven't seen this one, have you? Have you seen the ancient map? I'm like,
Oh,
no.
you're on mute, Ed.
No, I haven't seen this one. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay, so this is an ancient map. So this is gonna show up in the story, um,
let's go
in
back to the
different
map.
ways.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay, go ahead. Would you?
this is a really well, if you can see, that's the original name of Kyoshi. Um, what is that? I can't even read.
Akamutna,
Yeah,
Akamutna.
Katnuna. Yeah, Katnuna. And this is where a big part of our realm and the stories we have come together, and there's different special, super stuff that I don't want to reveal this on this map just yet because it's part of the story, but it's things that it's already in place so that you can see that this is well thought out. This is not just us saying, hey, this is a map 20 years later and say this is no, this is already in place. So when you come into the experience,
Mhm.
there's these old maps that you can like really delve into to go along with you in the story. So like I said, this is only one of them. We have more than one of them. Ancient maps. And then my love for topography and studying world maps from millennium, to be honest, from the earliest maps to now, and seeing the differences and seeing how society has been shaped by topography. No pun intended. But but definitely. So that's one of the reasons I you'll see it. We'll see a lot of different types of maps and realms and things. You'll see that changing of the maps and how they say the maps were changed. All that stuff will be going into the books.
Absolutely. I,
Yeah.
I was going to invite Brother Ed to share a bit his feedback on the maps and the whole map experience of
Yes.
Adroit Comics.
Oh wow, it's a beautiful system that he put together, and pinpointing the locations and knowing exactly the different settings that was going to be taking place in these maps was really good. I like this ancient one here though, since it's my first time seeing it. So you know he has more where that came from. But yeah, maps gives identity. It's to identify a particular situation or location in an area
Hmm.
that's closest to us. And since we are of the land, it gives us basically a relationship that we can have with the land that we are part of. So this definitely is a historical point that we can definitely take and look at and say, "Wow, I belong here. I know my origin. I'm from
Hmm.
here." You know, so what Achilles put together is really a phenomenal feat, and not many people that I know can do this on this level. So congratulations and keep up the good work.
Oh, glory to the Father. I consider myself a conduit. I get images, I see images, and I go with it, and I like when I do my art. It's really childlike, you know. You just got to go with it and play. So if I'm not, even like when I teach art, I tell students or even my wife and I teach her, if you're not having fun, then you're missing the point. It's just like when you're a professional athlete. If you're not out there having fun and you get
Uh,
to play
Come on, man.
sports every day, you're missing the
Yes.
point. You missed the point. So
And
that's
that's the whole point of the creativity side of it. That it's fun for you when you're on the creative side.
yeah, exactly. What was the quote you said? When you work and you don't even feel like, okay, you just said something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Happy is he who works and plays and don't know the difference.
Yes,
That's a good
exactly.
quote.
Yes, exactly. So when I did this, I was enjoying every second of creating the map and saying, "Oh, well, this can go here, and oh, these fortresses can be here, and this map was split because of these different cultures and things like that." So,
The detail, though, you pay very close attention to detail, Achille, on this, and this is what gets me because analytical people like us, we kind of want to put things in perspective,
hmm
but also to make sure that that everybody understands exactly where we're getting it from and why.
hmm
So your detail to these maps and locations and origins and the type of people that's from that origin, that that's a lot. That's great. I'm loving every moment, every time I go and looking at these maps. Even in the comic book, ladies and gentlemen, when you read these comic books, you're going to be elated about these maps that the cutie has put together here. So when you go and purchase these comic books, guys, at AndroidComics.com, you will definitely see some great enlightenment there that will kind of get you to be in a good relationship to where you are and looking at where I originally came from. So that's pretty cool. And where these champions and adversaries and all the rest of them come into play, and how they began and their origin stories as well. So good job, and I'm loving the fact that every time I read the book, it's always a new feature that I'm learning about it.
oh, that's great. That's what growing up. That's what I enjoyed about comic books. That each time you read something, it'd be like blow your mind. Like, okay, what next? Like, and if you don't have that and you don't give that, then you're not really pulling your audience in. So I really want people to just, like I said, I'm thinking about what do I like, and I just want to bring you in. And this is the mainland Kyoshi, but then the island that we speak of is a small island in the middle, down. You can
11.
almost see it, yeah, but it's right, that small island in between the main island of Kyoshi that is pointing to the Kyoshin Isle and the mainland. This is one of them. So there's different, as you can see, small. When you look at topography and you look at it from a distance, there's so many things that are lost. So when you come closer and closer and closer, you'll see that there's little tiny islands here and there, and people live there. People have cultures there. People, they go to the like this, yeah. So right now you can't necessarily see all the dots, but they're there, and then there are more there, and there's more hidden islands, and there um there's climate zones based on the sun going around and where the sun is and how it spins in and spins out, and the moon and the sun going through the different gates. We have a lot of biblical principles that we go by in our books. We have gates for our suns and moons that Enoch
Mhm.
spoke about, and that's what we built our foundation on. And in scripture where he said that the foundation was built on four pillars. So that's where we got this map from, and where I got the map from, and let people suspend. You know, when sometimes we say you suspend your disbelief, we automatically consider that the disbelief is because something is fiction. You have to suspend disbelief sometimes because you don't believe what the Father is putting and making and showing you. So you have to stop and let go of what you've learned from the past and allow him to come into your mind and show you that there's something different than necessarily what you've had and what you've been given. And that's one of the this whole map is like, wow, you can look at this map and say, it looks so familiar, but then it doesn't. If you look close enough, you can see Africa on there, but then you be like, where is it?
Yeah, where is it?
It's up on the left corner.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that. I see that now. Duh. I mean, right, right. That is
It's right
cool.
in the
That is
left
cool.
corner.
That is really
So
cool.
I
Okay.
you know, it's little things that I want to show familiarity with, but then say, but that's not Africa, and it does not connect to a mainland like that. And then another thing, that land is in a cold part of the realm, so it won't have the same climate. It won't have the same food. It won't have the same things that the things that are around the quote unquote equator would have. So, like, really, when you see this map, I want you to be familiar but not be familiar with it. You know, we speak of ancient maps that, um, was it Socrates or Aristotle that spoke about Atlantis? I can't remember.
Mm.
I think that was Socrates.
And it was on the map. I have, you know, it was ancient maps that speak of it, but then they say it didn't exist. It doesn't exist. So were they lying, or are the people now lying?
Hmm.
Somebody's not telling the truth.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when we doing this, we're exploring truth and lies, fiction and reality,
Hmm.
myth and legends and what's real. So that's one of the things that I want to draw into you. That's what we, you know, like, really, does it exist? Like with the cover of this one, do do aliens exist?
And if you're listening and not watching, right now what we're looking at is the cover of Crimson Hawk issue number 2, Attack of the Zicarians. Okay.
Yeah, and then and so we're like bringing these realms together, saying no, they do exist. There's something that does go bump in the night, um,
Hmm.
and that's the reality of New Sienna.
I like how you said that just letting go of what you already believe we know to be and being able to receive whatever the new truth that's being given to us. And in this issue, in Crimson Hawk issue number 2, the hurricane really goes through that psychological experience. Like when he's faced with these Zicarians, these mythical creatures that have been banished to just being, existing in bedtime stories, even though he's a superpower being himself and the world says that he doesn't exist, he's also a man of science. So that
Mm.
becomes a challenge and that becomes like an internal conflict that he has to overcome as he's in the midst of this battle. So I just thought that that was a really great point. Um, okay, well, awesome. So I think that this was great. I wanted to share just one more image because we're talking about Crimson Hawk and the challenges that he faced. But look here, you can recognize this guy, Ed Peterson. This is his citizenship card, and this is one of our
I
perks.
love it. I love my citizen card. Believe me. I actually, believe it or not, Aziza and Achille, I actually printed it out. I got my badge. I made a
Oh, you
badge.
Oh, that's
did
great.
good. That's good.
And that's what we plan on doing with our when you become a citizen. Actually, not plan. What we're going to do is we're gonna send you out your a printed version, laminated version of your
Mhm.
ID once you become citizens. That's part of their perks. And of course, you see at the top is entertainment purposes only.
Mhm.
And if somebody thinks you're part of a nation of New Sienna that doesn't exist here, and use that,
Hey, have a good time
Have
with
a
it.
good time with your
Have a
world.
good time with it. Uh,
Yeah, but
well,
this is really to enjoy yourself and feel immersed and be a part of our family.
Yeah, and that's the ownership that we bring in, to the table. That with Android Comics, guys, you guys can be a part of this, become a citizen, and not only that, you can share your input as
Yeah,
well, which is welcome. And
definitely.
so we look forward to a lot of participants, and we're going to
Yeah,
continue to share this across all the platforms here. And this is just a good opportunity for every person across the globe. I'm going to say this globally speaking, that we can reach out to everybody and anybody. So I'm super excited about that. And what, again, Achilles, the maps that he's put together and how he navigates through these territories and, and put it out there, and kind of how these subliminal messages behind what he's done is really, really phenomenal too. Because I'm like, okay, he has a message with this one. So when you read the comic book, you got to look at that. There's a message behind that. And
mhm.
Achilles, I want to say that you have really uh, made people. It makes us think about where we come from, what we're doing, how we're living today, and what's possible today if we just continue to have that hope within us and using our gifts and
definitely.
talents that we've been blessed with.
That's all glory to the Father again. Once again, I'm a Jersey kid. I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I was raised in Morristown, New Jersey.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until I was about 40 that my brother showed me this video of a gentleman telling me that we were the true children of Israel.
Hmm.
And my whole life changed because one minute I think I'm a Gentile from Newark, New Jersey, and then the next minute I've been told that I'm a part of a chosen people by the Creator Himself. And then from
Hmm.
that time, my life shifted from my understanding, from thinking that hey, this is I'm part of the people that were to be helped and nourished versus one that's doing the nourishing,
Hmm.
being the priest versus the people that are come to the priest, being the
Hmm.
one that usher versus the one that getting sat down. So when it happened, it opened my world up, and then opened my world to all these different possibilities and all these different things that we read in scripture that are either in the scripture that we I grew up on because I grew up in the Church of God in Christ,
Hmm.
or are we going to also open our minds up to the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilee, the book of I
Yes,
pronounced
sir.
it wrong, all the Yasher, and then read these things, and it opens up your knowledge and your understanding about the world, the Father, creation in itself, and then it allows you to understand that He made creators in us. So
Yeah.
what I'm doing is being a creator of this world through Him, and that's
Hmm.
why I have this ability to tap into something special and give the world something special. And it's not because of what I can do, because other people want to be able to draw too. I didn't wake up one morning and say I want to be able to draw. I want to make maps. I want to make this. I want to do that. I didn't do that. It just I love maps. I
Hmm.
love science fiction. I love
History.
travel, history. I'm a big history buff. So I
Yeah.
got all these things together, and I love storytelling.
Yeah.
I love the arc. I love all those things that make really good storytelling. I love the compassion and good storytelling. I love making a character so rich that you feel like that you want to sit down right next to him and then that's your friend. And
Hmm.
through us doing that, we're going to have people who want and were scared to create know that they can do it.
Right.
Who are scared to say, I can make my own thing here and bring people to the understanding through my parable in a sense.
Yeah.
Because this is what it is. I'm never telling anybody this is fact or anything. This is not what it is. A fiction account of what's going on in my head. Right.
Hmm.
Be honest,
And
in
it's
my
back.
wife's head. Yeah,
Hmm.
go
Right.
ahead.
Right.
I was gonna just when you said the parable, that's what I was gonna add to it, that our stories, our universe, our world is really one big, giant, exciting parable. And we've written it in a way that you can know that we're believers and you know that it's written from a place of hope and a place of faith and a place of believing and knowing that we can overcome darkness. You know
Mm-hmm.
that we're fighting for the light, and
Mhm.
whatever it is that we do, whatever our mission is, whatever we've been called to do, that we're fighting against darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a book that, regardless of if it's school or after school or wherever you are, this is a text that can be read and enjoyed regardless of your age, regardless of your background, regardless of your religious or faith beliefs, because it's not a
Mm-hmm.
religious text. You know, we're not, you know,
Yeah.
but it's something that, as a believer or someone who just in your daily life, you're a champion of good, then this
Mhm.
is for you. You know, this is for
Right.
you. This is for you to be able to share with your kids. This is
It's
for you to be
definitely.
able to, okay, well, I have more I wanted to say, but if you have something you wanted to add, Keely, we could go to our next segment.
Look, to be real and to say that from the gate, this book is based in spiritualities and things that are real, but they're not real circumstances. If you like Star Wars, it's based in spirituality. They at the very beginning of Star Wars, um, the first movie, he says that your ancient religion is like no one believes in your ancient religion anymore, and it hasn't given you the ability to conjure up the plans of this Death Star. So if he can, if they're monks, so if they can do it, then this is what we're doing based on what our spiritualities are and what our truths are, without having you feel like you're outside of a comic book, because you're gonna feel like you're in a comic book. You're gonna be in a comic book. You're gonna see a green lion. It's and it's gonna be a green lion that's naturally has green on its fur, and I don't want to give away too much, but it's the lion. It's the lion of Tipatan, and it has moss that collects on its fur and its hair that makes it camouflage inside of the jungle. So these new experiences that I want people to have, they're like, oh, that could happen, and having things to say that, oh, wow, this could even happen according to science, in a sense.
Mhm.
So really, just like I said, just suspend your disbelief and learn something new.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, awesome. I'm so excited to be able to share all of this and to be able to really have a dialogue that we can share with our community, that we can share with readers and new fans who are coming in to be a part of this excitement. All right, so our next segment is called That First Comic Feeling. All right, so just as we were all impacted by comics early on in life, especially you guys, especially our viewers and listeners, because I told y'all comics came later for me, courtesy of my bae.
Mhm.
We want to be that first comic book for generations to come. We want to be able to be the publication that when the kids of today look back, they get to say, "Oh man, I remember I opened my first issue of Adroit Comics. I remember I opened my first issue of Crimson Hawk, issue number one, and things just really changed for me because it was so exciting, so engaging, and so impactful." All right. So I have a question for you, Keely, and I have a question for Ed. I think he needed a minute. He'll be back with us in just a moment. So I want to go back to your first comic book shop. I know this, but nobody else knows this. So
Okay.
I want to go back to that first comic feeling, that first comic book shop feeling. And if you could share what was your comic book shop, the name of it, where it was located, and I just want to go back, for a little
Yeah.
nostalgia and reflect on that experience.
Well, the first comic book shop I think last week I told y'all that my friend gave me my comic books. So I was raised in Morristown, New Jersey, and we had this little mall called Morris County Mall, and and then there was a store called Bradley's. Bradley's was like a Walmart Target store, and my brother and I was at, and then right next to the store is this little tiny comic book shop called Fat Moose Comics. But there was nobody in there at the moment. I guess he might have gone to lunch or something. But the door was open, and me and my older brother Barry, we were like, "Okay, it's time, man. We got to go into this book," because we had kept seeing like we'd seen it for a while, but we never walked in. And when we walked in, it was just like all these comic books that I didn't know what to pick. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't remember what the first book was. But all of a sudden, I heard this man's voice say, "Can I help you, kids?" And I turned around and it was Fat Moose. So he was fat. It wasn't just the store wasn't called Fat Moose. He was Fat Moose. And I was like, I want to buy a comic book. And he's like, okay, what you want? And I bought the comic book and I ended up buying comic books for years and years, probably until I left Morristown from Fat Moose. And then there was another one in Uptown called Heroes World. So those were the two places that I bought the majority of my comic books. But if one didn't have one and the other one didn't have one, I go find one in Livingston Mall. And then we just like every time you get it, it was just like the new paper. You had to open it a certain way because you didn't want your fingerprints to take away from the color, and it was just the experience. Every time you had a new comic book that I want to get to a kid, that when you open it up, it's like, all right, this is like gold for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, awesome. Thank you for sharing,
No
Keely.
worries.
Yeah, when Ed's back with us, I'll ask him the same question, and then as we get guests on, I really want to take moments to just give everybody a chance to reflect on the magic that happened, because comic book lovers are comic book lovers. Like, even if you guys have strayed away because things weren't going how you wanted them to go, or storylines just aren't in keeping with your sensibilities, you still love a good comic book. And I feel that, that's the reason why so many people keep collecting them, and that they have
Hmm.
so much value. That value is because of what the books provided, or what the books brought to the lives of the readers. That's my 2 cents. So let us know if you're watching. Comment below. Share with us your first comic book shop. Share with us that first comic book feeling. What was the first book that you read? What characters really sparked your imagination and made you feel super and made you feel epic? All right, awesome. So that takes us to our next segment, which is the reading revolution. So I won't belabor this for too long. We're already at 37 minutes, but the reading revolution is really our campaign to change the world through comic books, through literacy, through reading, through education, not by browbeating or telling kids you're so far behind and you're not reading well and you've got to do something different. We want to shift the paradigm. We want to bring back wonder. We want to bring back excitement and really deliver stories that readers of all ages can enjoy. And specifically, we've been implementing our comic books in our reading program. So I've been blessed to be working as a tutor, a reading specialist, a reading interventionist with kids of all ages. I've been working with kids from kindergarten all the way through high school. And our comic books have really proven to be an excellent tool for literacy, an excellent tool for engagement, and for really, really changing lives. So, what we want to do right now is extend an invitation to educators, to parents, to community leaders to reach out and connect with us about our reading revolution. We have so many exciting things planned coming up. We're doing some work here in Florida. We're planning out exciting activations and engagements in the Houston area. Shout out Houston, we're on our way back. So yeah, just super epic excitement is on the way. And we want to take kids. I've really had a vision of reading scores going up, reading confidence going up. Like all of these little kids, all of these children who are in these underserved communities who've been labeled as having ADHD. They've been labeled as being on the spectrum. They've been labeled as dyslexic, and really believe that they can't. And once you believe that you can't, it's that much harder to believe that you can. So we're here to let these kids know, hey, you can do it. You are brilliant. You are a young genius. You do have the talent, the capacity, and the brilliance to succeed and to help change the world. And that's really what our reading revolution is all about. All
Hmm.
right, so I digress. But you guys, please visit adroitcomics.com/reading dash revolution to learn more about our reading movement. And we invite you to join today. All right. So our next segment, I had a little game for us. Let me see. Ed, are you up to our game? I don't know if he
I'm
can
not
hear
sure if you can hear us,
us. Okay, not sure if he can
so
hear us
maybe we
right now.
should pause until
Yeah, we can pause. Well, I
yeah,
know right now we can because we're at 40 minutes. This has been a
this
good
is a good
episode.
episode. Yes,
Yeah, this has been a great episode. So,
yes.
what I'll share in closing is we are inviting you to become a citizen of New Siena.
Hmm.
And in becoming a citizen of New Siena, you are invited. Let me see if I can share that. You are invited to have an address. We're looking for our first 2,500 new citizens of New Siena. You'll get an address. You'll get a citizenship card. If you're one of the first 500, you can name a street. You have street naming rights. And then we also have cities, lands, just a whole world that needs to be developed. So depending on your level of support and your level of citizenship where that you're able to come in with, there's just a whole world of world building waiting for you. Okay. Oh, I see Ed. He's got his finger up. Oh, you're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay,
Yeah, we
I
can
was
hear you
wondering.
now.
I thought I was. I forgot I was on mute. But no, hey, I love both of y'all because the way you guys have really knitted all this together and put it in a more easier format for people to understand and read and learn and grow. Because these characters, I mean, I can say one thing about it. I haven't seen yet, and I'm gonna say this, and Kenny's it's gonna make him smile a bit bigger. I haven't seen yet a comic book character where they have this much of transformations that we have seen in what we see now in Android comics. The transformations is what I look at because the kid know what I'm talking about. This right here gives us an opportunity to kind of participate. I'm gonna give you one case in point. When I was a kid, I used to change clothes real quick, like the comic characters used to do, and try to match into the costume, especially Halloween time, and try to emulate that transformation. And that right here is what you have all put together. The writing style, the narratives to it, the way you enunciate and punctuate these terms in the comic book is really, I'm like, woo, my mind. I want more now. Because now I'm fed. I'm actually fed. And because I'm fed, I need to know more. When is the next book coming out? That's always going to be the question. So when you get them engaged and when you get them engaged like this is what's going to happen and on that scale and why people are going to want more. When they go to the website at androidcomics.com, they'll begin to start reading what you guys have and looking at the characters and then the way you have it situated in a way that can bring about a change. That's what it's all about, a change. I'm bringing about a change in a community, no matter what community you're in across this country and around this world. There is a change that can happen when you take a dive into the ACU comic books. So I just want to share that.
No, thank you, Ed. That's perfect. I appreciate it. So now we'll do our little game. I won't make you go to do your flashback right now. We'll do that next time. But just a little game, and then we'll close out. All right. So this is our C3 showdown. Our C3
Hmm.
showdown. So this is. Oh, we don't have to have the screen. Everything can be clear. We'll just see faces for right now, if that's okay. All right, so this is a round of Would You Rather. Okay, my students love Would You Rather. The
Oh
little kids
boy.
love Would You Rather. Okay, so you're going to choose your superpower. Okay, the theme is Superpowers Unleashed. Okay, so I'm going to give you two superpowers, and then you have to pick one and say why. Okay, so this is a speed round. I have 3 rounds. Okay, first up, telekinesis versus invisibility. All right, which would you
Telekinesis.
choose? Telekinesis. Okay, Ed, what do you choose?
I'm gonna say invisibility, man.
You're gonna say invisibility. Okay, because you chose invisibility last week. Okay, Keely, why you pick? telekinesis?
If you can move stuff with your mind, you don't need to. You don't need too much other powers.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, that's
Because
good. That's
they
good.
can see me coming. If I can move you with my mind, I don't care. I can crack the bank open if that's what I wanted to do, or put somebody down or whatever. Like either or, better good. It's the power that pretty much. Look at Green Gray.
Hmm. Okay.
AKA Phoenix, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, backseat on that one, right, my brother. You
What'd you say?
look back on that one. I just stood back on that one because you said, wait a minute. I just thought
Uh,
about that with telekinesis. Yeah, you can do that.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you switch, Ed? You choose telekinesis now?
He's
Was it
so
convinced?
funny.
Now, I still want to say
It's
invisibility
invisible. Okay.
because, look, I could be anywhere and everywhere. Nobody would know it. And I can pick up on a lot of people's ideas, thoughts, and what they're really talking about behind closed doors that no, they wouldn't want to share or say anywhere else.
Okay, good. And that's powerful. I agree. You both
And
made
it's funny
excellent
because
points.
I don't want to know what nobody got to know because then that make me mad. So if
Well,
I'm
if you look at
new,
it, yeah,
like if
if
I
you
was
look at
in
it
a,
in a way, if you look at it in a way to counteract that thought
yeah,
process, and then we can debunk and slam it down because now we know what they're really thinking,
mm-hmm.
and we can be ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve with that invisibility. That would be a good superpower for me.
That's a good spy.
Agreed. Yeah,
That
that's a
spy
great
be
spy
invisible.
power, right? Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I know what both of y'all are going to say for this one, but I'm going to just throw it out there. All right. Would you rather super strength versus a super mind?
Ooh,
Mind.
the mind. I would love the
Okay,
mind.
good.
I mean, the strength is one thing, but when you got the mind, you can control just about anything.
Mhm.
Professor X.
Yeah,
Bro, I
yeah, I would
mean,
have that.
Ray
Yeah,
Richards. You can't.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Good. I guess throw an Iron Man too.
But
Okay,
you
that's
throw in
Yeah.
good.
Tony and you throw in T'Challa.
Mm-hmm. A lot of minds. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. That one went exactly how I thought it was going to go. Okay, so number
say it again.
three, I said y'all's answers for that round were exactly what I anticipated because I know y'all are
Oh,
big
okay.
time thinkers. All right, so this is the final round and then we'll be closing out. All right, number three, super speed versus water power. Like you can
Super speed.
Ooh. Super speed.
super speed.
All day,
Yeah,
every
super
day.
speed. Water power is
Okay.
fine, but that's just water.
Yeah.
Okay. All
You can
right.
run on water
Agreed.
with super speed.
I
You can
agree.
run on water.
I agree. Okay, excellent. All right, so this isn't a would you rather, but I'm pretty sure I already know the answers to this, but this is for our listeners and our viewers. Okay. Which character in the Android Comics universe do you feel most connected with?
I have to add, we defer to Ed because it's kind
Okay,
of hard
Ed.
for me to.
They're all
Yeah,
of them for
it's
us.
hard for
We're
the creator.
international.
Come
I don't
on.
think the creator will have a problem trying to, or he will have a problem trying to figure out to pinpoint which one of them he associated with, because he
Mhm.
associated with all of them that he created. It's like
Mhm.
his children. So I mean, I can't. Can you decipher which child is you have more connection to than the other? I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
As a parent, we can't do that. We don't do that.
That's
So for
difficult.
me, um, well, I can say two characters though. I can pick more than one.
Mhm.
Um, Hurricane is first, of course.
Mhm.
And then Crimson Hawkins got to be my second one because as I look at him and look at his background and look more into his origin story, I'm understanding that how he got that, and so that's pretty cool. And so those are the two.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Okay, that's good. So
Yeah,
it's the same thing with
If
me. I
you
mean,
can
if I have to pick
rephrase
one, I'll
it,
pick Miss Elemental.
I
Which
was
if
one?
just
you
saying.
Okay,
if you can rephrase it and say, well, which one do I say I might identify with the most, I would
which one has
probably
more you in it? How about that?
more me or do I, Crimson Hawk is more me in an older analytical way.
Hmm.
Hurricane is me in a younger one that found out about the world, scared to do something, scared of what I can do. Way.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So that's why it's like I can't choose one or the other. But those are the two marquee because of the reason. And then you have um, Golden Bolt is because I've always wanted to run really fast. Like if that's
Yeah,
like maybe my second.
Golden Bolt would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like I've had dreams. I told you of running like the Flash. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't tell most people that. Well, I guess I am now. But I have dreams about being Batman, Superman, Magneto, Green Lantern, Spider Man, the
Yeah.
Flash. Like I've stuck to walls. I've used the power of what is it? Magnify the you know the magnation. What is it? Magnify. What is it?
Magnetism.
Magnetism. Y'all have to excuse me.
Magnetism.
Sometimes
Yeah.
my words slip me,
Magnetism.
but magnetism. I've used the Green Lantern ring before in my dreams, so
Yeah.
I'm really close. When I tell you that I love the whole concept of superpowered beings and how they interact in the world, I really do. Like I really am fascinated with how a person can have a superpower and then immerse itself into a world of people who don't. And how did they work? How do you work? Like if you
Hmm.
run faster than everybody and you love baseball, what do you do?
Right.
And
That's true.
that's what he has to figure out. If you know you're gonna beat everybody, but you just want to play,
Mhm.
what provisions and what things are you going to do to make sure that you can play? So we'll
Right.
talk about those stuff in the comic books because it's like they're real people. We're not treating them like they're not real people. You know, like you'll see comic books sometimes and there'll be a powerful man that'll slap somebody in their face and they'll just fall back. I'm like, no, you slap somebody, you're gonna break their neck. So
Hmm.
you can't slap them. You know, it just so it's different ways that you have to subdue somebody. And they did a great job with Superman with him not when it comes to regular people, quote unquote regular people, him not using his powers on them. He would use
Right.
the elements around him and things around him to subdue them.
Hmm. Yeah.
So things like that. In Spider-Man, you see, he's always using his webs. You don't really see him doing too much punching and kicking and stuff. And he holds his power back because he can kill you. So that's
Right.
what we're dealing with these people. Like, what we can do to not hurt you because we're good people, but subdue you. But if you gotta get your head knocked off with a like a nut pop, not knocked off literally, but somebody knock you out in the comic books, that happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but you don't have to kill them this for us to get our point across. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Take it back old school. Well, this was awesome. I
Yeah.
do our little closing, and I think we can wrap
Yeah.
up episode number 2. Okay, you guys ready?
all
Yes,
right.
yes, we can. Yes, we can. This has been a great episode. I'm really excited. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having more of C3 podcasts again. And so we're going to have the two dynamic duos right there, the double A's, I call them. So they'll be sharing more. You guys can check out the website at androidcomics.com. Get your copy of the comic book, please do, and you won't regret it. I guarantee you. Once you get it, you ain't gonna want to put it down like me. So you're gonna want to do that and become a citizen. We're gonna send that information up there to you as well. That's real easy to do as well. When you go to the website at androidcomics.com. So with that, of course, I'm gonna say this: it's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. That's from my brother Les Brown. As always, we want to keep the faith, ladies and gentlemen, and always keep building your dreams. And last thoughts, Aziza?
All right, awesome. Well, everybody stay epic. And my last little thing I wanted to share that our new age in comics isn't about recreating the past, but building a bolder, brighter, and more epic future for our children, their children, and everyone's children. So we
Amen.
invite you to join us and be
All right.
blessed. Bye,
All
guys.
right. Y'all
Amen.
take care. Until
All
next
right.
time, peace
Everybody
out.
have a good night.
Peace out. Bye,
Bye bye.
guys.
All right.